A new generation of retail investors armed with pandemic stimulus money, unemployment checks, and lockdown free time put their resources to work in a collective attempt to take advantage of the company's low share price and high short interest. You guys remember this when they blamed GameStop short squeeze on the stimmy checks? Well, this might just be another excuse for the upcoming squeeze that GameStop and AMC are about to have. Today, Elon Musk proposed $5,000 Doge dividend checks for all Americans, funded by savings from the Department of Government Efficiency. Now, honestly, this sounds great, but it will have some implications in the background. That's for another video. We got to talk about the overall market, some bigger stocks, and then we're going to touch on AMC GameStop as the lump sum center of the video. And then I'm going to give you some short squeeze plays and something special towards the end. So make sure to watch until the end of the video. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn post notifications on. Join us on this journey to financial freedom. I appreciate all the support that you guys show on the channel. This $5,000 Doge check will likely just get dropped into AMC or GameStop anyway. Now, the Trump administration is preparing to fire hundreds of high-level Department of Homeland Security employees this week as part of a move to rid the country's third largest agency of people deemed to be misaligned with the administration's goals. And before we show you the SPY chart, we are still seeing gold hit fresh all-time highs. It will hit 3,000 very, very soon. We are also seeing the JXY, the Japanese yen currency, on the rise, about to break above relative highs at $66, actually cracking above that right now. So the entire unwind is still happening in our face. We also saw a major bank in Japan begin to implode and become insolvent here, which is going to cause major financial strain and unexpectedly shift market conditions, whatever that means, right? We all know what it means. SPY is trading at 610.50, holding above this level at 609.20, which is an important level for the SPY, because if we crack under that, I think the SPY does fall off a cliff at least for a day or two, right? As of right now, the SPY is showing consolidation above that level. Technically very bullish. We traded in this descending parallel channel, got a rise, traded in again, got a rise. And if you continue to look on the macro scale, first of all, on the weekly, on these moves higher, you are seeing fading volume. Liquidity is drying up in the market. The market is overvalued. There's no telling, however, when it will fall off a cliff, but it looks to be due for that. You have fading volume even on the gap higher, and then you have even less volume on the gap higher than that. So the higher you go on less volume, you're teetering on a cliff. That is what we will point out for the market right now. Now, I have a great opportunity that I think for you if you are in for a high risk, high reward scenario. First of all, SMCI is getting another rally today, up 7%, basically trading at $60. Here's what I want you to know. Originally, we were bullish on SMCI. We played calls. That's fine. SMCI is doing great. It's making a comeback. Institutions are purchasing this. There's a lot of things behind the scenes that people, I would say, blown out of proportion. And it's just really hard for one of these companies that is very much so tied with institutions to go bankrupt. However, they have a deadline coming, I believe, on Tuesday, February 25th, which is also, I believe, the same day as the AMC earnings, but that's for another talk, right? What I'm saying is going into a bearish position and holding over the weekend is my risky play that I'm looking at here. And ultimately, these plays are already talked about in the Discord. Sometimes they aren't even talked about on here, but I'm giving you this one as I think it is a huge opportunity. The reason I say it's a huge opportunity is something that just happened with NKLA, and we'll talk about the squeeze plays in 1 second. INTC getting a little bit of a retrace, still in this zone. I believe we consolidate here, or we just build another candle to break out of it. But you can see we built a full candle in this entire zone that we had mapped out. Once INTC is actually consolidated and officially above this range at 27.75, this thing is due for long-term moves higher. Okay, so just be aware of that. I am very, very bullish on INTC, but don't forget we could come retrace back to 24.60, so that's still on the chart as well. Meta, we called out Meta puts. It's down 2.4%. It was down yesterday. We got in puts yesterday at some point, or maybe some have, some haven't, right? We cracked beneath a crucial support level at 710. Now we're trading at 699. It looks to me like Meta's coming down to 690 over the next day or two. Tesla got a beautiful candle back up to 363.25, up 2.6%, coming back into this range. Now, this is actually a pretty good candle for Tesla. We did get rejected at resistance at 367.50. If Tesla closes above 367.50 and opens above it at any point, it is then on to be bullish again for 375 and then potentially 382.50 until we break out of this trend line and open a candle outside of it. Tesla still remains in a temporary bear trend. Palantir 124. This is a crucial point for Palantir. If we close above 124 here, it's actually still bullish and momentum will still carry on to bring us up to 133.50 or 134. But as of right now, if we fail to hold this level, I would ultimately watch for puts to the downside. This honestly might fake people out as well and start building a wick up to maybe 126.50, 127, and failing at 127 to trap people into more calls on Palantir. So just be wary of that. I think Palantir is a little bit overbought. Okay, GameStop, AMC. If you haven't liked the video yet, like the video, subscribe to the channel. GameStop FTD data came out once again, and what we see is another thing that Doge has to fix when they audit the SEC. More and more dates where they just don't show us the FTD data. First, there are high FTDs, which then there are none. So the discrepancy is not normal. On top of that, you don't see these FTDs with other blue chip companies or anything along the lines of that, which is not normal. You don't see them hidden on other companies, which is not normal. What else do you not see that is completely not normal? Well, it's most of the exchange volume trading in the dark pool. We are not seeing orders hit lit markets. GameStop is being traded off exchange because these institutions like to cheat. Now, I want to point out a couple things that are interesting before I show you the charts that we have right now. We have some entities selling off and purchasing GameStop. One of them being GTS Securities LLC, CSS LLC, which is based in Illinois, and CTC LLC. Now you can see that these companies buy and they sell, they buy and they sell. AMC as well, the newest ones here. Now they could just be cleaning up their portfolio a little bit since they, sold AMC and GameStop on the same day, or maybe they had stop losses. Who really knows, right? You can see the same entities are popping up right here. Ultimately, we are still seeing a high amount of institutional ownership on AMC as well as GameStop. Call to put ratio is being outweighed on AMC as well. Calls outweighing the puts. GameStop, I'd say to a slighter degree as well. Jumping into the charts, we're trading at 2660, down 1.1% on the day. Here's what we have to pay attention to for now. First of all, GameStop has gotten this gap up, and then we are seeing our second day of kind of flat candles or decline per se. There's a couple things to note here. First of all, we were a day late on the gap higher. Okay, so the cycles are still on. We were 1 day off on the gap higher. Secondly, we are still trading in this parallel channel, which means we could be at a low, which is a perfect buying opportunity for another move higher to the top of the channel, which is around $29.50 to $30. Okay, that's number two. Number three is we'll duplicate the chart here and we'll go over to show you what historically has happened, just to make a third point before I show you AMC's chart. Climb higher out of this hole, 2 days of flat. Climb higher, 2 days decline. Okay, given we were looking at the gap up, and either way, they still had one candle following. So basically what I'm trying to say here is that we were still 1 day off on the gap up. We could be 1 day short of a massive move, a massive green candle, and a catalyst. I also want to note we had slight decline or flat days, which we're seeing right now, which is completely fine. AMC, this is exactly what we were looking for that we didn't get on Tuesday. I think Tuesday was sort of to trap more people, more retail in. One, we were expecting a sell-off. We had it drawn out in this chart, sell-off down to 325, which now I believe would likely be around 338 to 325, which I do still think we might potentially hit on AMC come tomorrow. Why do I think that? Well, we had, put very simply, 23%, 24% run, 10% decline, 2 days AMC based off of what we're tracking. 23, 24% incline, down 10%. That same range would be around 340. Okay, 338 or so to the exact penny. Given the same setup, same scenario, AMC doesn't have to do this, but we are finally getting one of these red days, which I see, which means, again, I will not be going into the weekend empty-handed. Nothing I say is financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. Unity also reports earnings this week, actually tomorrow. Okay, so pay attention to that. If Roaring Kitty's tweets were actually based off of something that had to do with Unity, which there was a lot of speculation on, you might even see something come out tomorrow when people are not, paying attention to it. However, given the speculation retail has on this, given institutions know that and understand that, you could potentially expect Unity to have a major move down. I'm not sure to what level, but they may take advantage of retail jumping into this stock. Okay, so just be weary of that. Now, BYND, we also called out in Discord. It's up 5%. And I do want to state that this one could just be beginning. I see a price target of 640 all the way up to potentially around 830. And this is sitting at a 50% short interest. This could be the beginning of a short squeeze rolling out right in front of you and being handed to you. Chart looks good. It also plays out pretty similarly to AMC's chart, which is also good for AMC to potentially get our move after. Now, NKLA, I talked about this at the beginning of the video. It was down 40%. It was actually down a lot more than that. But why? Well, they filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy. Okay, the stock was down a lot. I think NKLA was on the verge of a short squeeze. It's up. It has a 23% short interest, and I think that I don't know what the company's doing. I don't know if they got paid out. I don't really know exactly what it is. What I do know is that the timing was a little bit suspect. Right? It almost looked like it was prepping to have an explosive move, and instead it got rugged. We're seeing a ton of volume. We're seeing the stock actually come back. Maybe they state that bankruptcy's off the table at some point, and getting this stock under 40 cents, under 50 cents is probably a good deal. Maybe, maybe not. Bring up a couple more things. HEPA could be at another buying opportunity, but we're not seeing movement in the stock, and you don't want to get on a slow train, which brings me to a point. MGOL, MGOL, has entered a zone, which I would state is my first buying opportunity. This is a short squeeze play, has tons and tons of short interest. A lot of retail is now holding above the level that it's trading at right now. Okay, I'd say probably majority of retail who wanted to play this is holding above 36 cents. Anything under 34 cents is, I think, a buying opportunity, but it does get very, very risky if you crack this level. Okay, anything between 34 cents and 42 cents, I think, was level 1 buying opportunity where MGO could have gotten a bounce. However, if we crack beneath 34 cents, which we are about to do, this thing could get ugly. And I mean ugly, down to 30 cents very quickly, down to 20 cents very quickly. And at that point, I would say that there is probably more buying opportunities to watch on this one. Long story short, I would say that even though MGOL is selling off, this happens to a stock, obviously, that runs hundreds, basically 1,000%. Right. I do still think MGOL in the future, maybe short term, does have another move up. And I don't think its reign is over here. So just keep an eye on this. HIMS, we gave it to you a while back. We said a move up to 62. We're now at 67, basically 68, up 16%. The stock is clearly short squeezing. They are posting earnings Monday, February 24th. So Monday of this upcoming week. So over the weekend, I am not sure what to expect. They absolutely smashed earnings last time. I think shorts are covering into earnings, and then the stock might get clapped on earnings day, because it's just so overbought. It honestly might get clapped tomorrow or Friday, but I would potentially watch for a high of 85 or even $100 before this thing caps out. I think I see two levels left for this stock: 85 and then $100. I gave a tiny bit of technicals on those. A stock that I think can follow, which we also gave out a while back, is OKLO. This is more so at the top of the range, and we could be seeing a double top. So just be careful. Maybe we retrace back down to $40. As of right now, it's looking somewhat bearish. But again, this thing could start gapping higher like HIMS. It has a high short interest, all that other stuff. So guys, these are the plays that I'm putting on your radar. We talked about GameStop, AMC. We talked about the overall market. And as of right now, that is what I got for you guys for today's video. The top link in the description is for my Discord server. What do you get out of it? Well, I post my trades as soon as I enter them. We also have high success trade flow that you can follow, breakout alerts on stocks, option sweep alerts, insider trades, dark pool activity, market news, analyst grades, a stock talk group chat, which is just full of the most amazing people. Whether you're a beginner or advanced trader, this is a place to go. You can find call outs in here. You can find trades. You can also request specific videos and stocks you want me to cover. We talk crypto as well. There's a crypto channel. We post our gains, post our losses so that you guys can see. And I drop the videos as soon as they come out in there. So it's a one-stop shop for everything for a very, very good price. The second link in the description is for Moomoo. It's a free broker. If you sign up using my link, it's an affiliate link. You're going to get up to 30 free stocks after you deposit into your account. On top of that, it's a free broker that gives you access to level 2 order book data for free, trading options, going long, going short, viewing other exchanges, and more as a retail trader. So there's really no reason to sleep on these top 2 links. Go get them. That is it, guys. I love you all. God bless. Lottery Stocks out.